people, including this weekend, have come to attend and watch Cork and Limerick matches. It's a staggering statistic. Liam Gordon from Killimore and County Galway is the match referee. Last year's All-Ireland semi-final between these counties is the only time in history that Croke Park was sold out for an All-Ireland semi-final. And away we go again in 2025. Cork won the toss, playing from left to right as we look at it here. And they're heading down towards the city end, down towards Coleman Park. First shot at goal is gone to the right and wide. Brendan Cummins, I know you're delighted to Kerry won the first game, but now in this game you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is absolutely electric down there. It's Munster Championship at its very best, and Cork have gotten off to a very good fast start there. They left Patrick Horgan actually inside the edge of the square. Hayes came out and Alan Connolly and left that space in there, but Dalton just flashed wide. It'll take just a minute or two, even though they're really experienced competitors down on that pitch, to settle in.
Gerard Hegarty giving it short for as Adam English. Available is Keane Lynch. Up goes the right paw. The pass is perfect. On the overlap is Tom Morrissey, and that flies between the posts and over the bar.
Yeah, there you have it. In a caption there, Marty, the Keane Lynch and conundrum that Downey has. He had to hold off a bit from Lynch there, which opened up the middle. He was neither here nor there. And Morrissey saw the opportunity and cut down the middle.
Puck out down into the middle of the field. Cork lose the possession. Tipperary from way out the field. Tom Morrissey. He may have missed the earlier part of the league. He returned from touring around after last year's All-Ireland semi-final defeat, but he has found his form.
He has, and every mistake is going to be punished. It's also to note as well that Limerick are shooting with the breeze, kind of right to left into that goal. It's stiff enough.
Patrick Collins going long, bypassing Kyle Hayes on this occasion. Breaking ball, plenty of Cork players available. The initial pick-up by Ethan Toomey just didn't come up properly for him. Limerick have the slither. They should have it. Will O'Donoghue is back there. Kyle Hayes lets him have it, and into the centre comes Limerick again, bursting out of the attack. Out of the defence is Barry Nash. Keane Lynch again, given a lot of space. The diagonal ball is heading towards the corner. It has the momentum, but it's just about kept in beautifully. Nice stick work, good hands, trying to get inside. Aaron Gallagher, beautiful turn. Acres of space he has inside if he wants him. A colleague, here comes Aaron Gallagher!
Exactly what Clare would want, Marty. They have guys out the pitch, or sorry, Limerick would want. They have players out the field. Gets a one-on-one with Galan inside. And he does what he does best.
What a goal by Aaron Gallagher. Beautiful stick work. Brilliant wrist. Beautiful turn. Here comes the rasper. Collins had no chance. Long puck out again, dropping into the sunshine. They all collide. Chasing after it is Alan Connolly. Alan Connolly has the slip. The referee blows his whistle. He's indicating it's a free to Cork. Cork players are protesting vehemently, and the referee had blown his whistle.
Clavin has contact on the face guard. It's accidental. Because they're always trying to grab a defender coming back there, but it is contact on the face guard and a pull back. That's what the Cork players are remonstrating about.
Yellow card for Jim Burns. As Cork were bearing down on goals. Now, to soothe the Cork nerves, here's Patrick Horgan. Puts that between the posts and over the bar. Cork are up and running. There's always magic in the air when Cork and Limerick meet, and we've already seen a piece of pure, utter magic from Aaron Gallagher. Now, can Cork respond? Here's Owen Downey, Glen Rovers man, into the space to Mark Coleman from Blarney, just down the road from the north side of Cork City. He has the time, he has the pace, he has the accuracy. Great score.
That's very good use of the ball. Coleman ghosted up along the wing there. For all the guys in the team you want to have, the ability he has, just a simple one to slot it over the bar.
Nicky Quaid. Long puck out. Well down inside the Cork 45-metre line. Referee watching it. Aaron Gallagher was looking for a free. Picked up instead by David Reedy. Reedy cutting inside, yet to score the Munster Championship. Gone inside is Barry Nash. He was a forward. Can he score? Oh, great defending by Cork, and has gone out for the ball is wide. Brilliant. If you want to see classic defending by any team in the country, watch this sequence, because Limerick had Cork exposed. David Reedy, the support was from Barry Nash, but Cork defending, they swarmed him at the right moment and did not foul him. Ball is pucked out and Cork have the possession. The hits are going in fair and square. Robert Downey from out the field. Slots that over the bar, and that's two in the Cork back line that have now scored.
Yeah, it's great skill from Downey. He just gave the dummy there to give himself a bit more time. Great composure.
Nice ball inside as Limerick tried to expose this Cork full back line. Nice. Just showing a little bit too much of it with Shane O'Brien. Turns. Trying to float this one in, but it floats very much to the left and wide.
Again, good defending from Owen Downey. Didn't panic when he had O'Brien one-on-one. Down underneath us here, Dalton is down with an injury of some sort. But Kylie Dare has set it up really well. He's got two inside in the full forward line. Everybody else out the pitch, trying to cut down the space the Cork forwards have. We always know they've grass is what they run into. He's trusting Galan inside that he's going to get on the ball. The same way with Shane O'Brien there or David Reedy. There's two up top all the time.
This was just pure magic from this man, Aaron Galan. Turning inside Niall O'Leary. Beautiful stick work. Hopping on the ground, another little swerve to the right, and then comes the Rasper. It's his first goal of the Munster Championship 2025.
Yeah, definitely took advantage of that little slip, but the way Limerick has set up there is what got him one-on-one out there. It's very, very difficult for a defender when you're one-on-one with that man in your shot. He's lethal once he gets inside. Great calmness.
Plenty to talk about tonight in the Sunday game already, and we've only got 6.5 minutes played in this match.
Worrying signs down there as well, Marty, for Dalton there. He doesn't look that comfortable at all. Looks like there's a replacement coming on now for him.
That would be a huge loss, because his performance in the previous round against Clare, you could see by the body language he's heartbroken, but he's obviously picked up an injury, and Cork are going to introduce a substitute as they change the Cork attack. This is Brian Roach that's getting the nod from the beginning. But on Declan Dalton's form, Brendan Cummins, he is a loss.
He's a loss today. It could be a loss next weekend too, but they'll worry about that later on tonight.
Limerick on the attack. Adam English in front of the McMackey stand. He floats into the breeze under the blue sky and raises a white flag.
Yeah, another man who's having a great year. He just hadn't been finishing, Marty, as well enough for me, but he certainly got off to a great start here now. It's a great finish.
Long drive. Dermot Burns. Lots of space in the pitch here. Nice ball into the centre as Limerick built from the back. Good work by Mike Casey. Hooked on this occasion. Gets by Shane Barrett second time round. Through the ball. And that's going to be a free for Cork just inside their own 65-metre line.
Yeah, big pressure on the ground. The middle third of the pitch. There's big pressure on Cork to not let the ball get inside. Reedy and Galan are inside 1v1 if they get it in at all. But did really well, Cork, that time to swarm and stop the delivery and get the turnover.
Mark Coleman going to take this. In fact, he's leaving it for Patrick Horgan, who's coming back inside his own 65-metre line.
Limerick are getting agitated because there is a breeze down there, Marty. If there's to Patrick Horgan, he's doing all he can to slow this up, kill the momentum.
Clever enough to move the sliotar beyond the 65-metre line. Then when the complaints arrived, brought it back, having been gently persuaded. He's already scored a goal in 18 points coming into this Munster Championship match, dropping in just a little bit short for Nicky Craig. Good hands. Will O'Donoghue giving the ball away, easily picked up by Tim O'Mahony. Superb block by Kyle Hayes. Loose ball available, beautifully picked up by Brian Roach. Took the hit inside. Nicky Craig has to come off his goal line. Looking for it is Dermot Burns. Dermot Burns is marked, so Nicky Craig has no option but to go long into Cork territory. Almost breaking it down to Cian Lynch. Again, the right paw goes up, gives it down to Aaron Gillard. The Patrick's well boys, both of them former hurlers of the year, and what a combination. They understand each other. Since the early days of playing in the hurling field in Patrickswell, they give each other a high five, and they can still understand each other when they're grown men playing for their county.
They can, yeah, and it's all came to this block down from Kyle Hayes there again. Really, really good eye on the ball. And Galan gave the thumbs up there, Marty, to the boys and say, let it in. He was happy that the ball was delivered, no messing. We'll do the rest inside here, and great skill from Cian Lynch, obviously. Create the opportunity now for the free for Galan.
I mentioned Hurler of the Year 2 years ago. This man was Hurler of the Year, Aaron Gillard, 4 times an All-Star. Hits it straight over Patrick Collins' crossbar. Limerick look quite dangerous when the ball is left in fast. Now, it's time to see what Cork have to offer. Shane Barrett, Speedy Gonzalez of Blarney. When he gets an opportunity, he'll fly through. Great block down, great defending by Limerick. The 7 in a row Munster champions seeking side are up for this match. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, and they know they have to get touch tight all the time with Cork. You see the eye on the ball here. Fairness to Casey, did really, really well. Got Horgan on the back foot. Normally a defender will step back a bit, but he pushed in on him. And every turnover is going to be celebrated here.
Dermot Burns. Dropping this in. Dropping it just outside the post and wide. You'll be disappointed with that, Lee.
Cork were trying to get the puck out of the way quickly, but they had players inside the 21, in fairness to Liam Gordon. But that again just shows you the breeze, Marty. Patrick Horgan had one inside his own 65, dropped short. Burns inside his own 45, went wide.
Collins goes short, combines with Owen Downey, sends it down the middle. Coming across is Barry Nash. Former wing forward, former cornerback, now wing back. You've got to be versatile. Wonderful fielding by last year's All-Star fullback, Owen Downey. Giving it out to big brother Robert. The Glen Rovers boys. Looking around to see who's available. Goes down the middle channel. Ball to hand. Tim O'Mahony. Over fires Mark Coleman. Outside the Limerick 65. Sending a nice ball inside. Nice turn by Brian Hayes. Laying it off. Oh, just left it behind him a little bit. And good defending by Limerick, in particular Sean Finn. 4 times an All-Star in a row at right cornerback, Sean Finn. That's the calibre and quality that's on view here this afternoon. The referee, Liam Gordon, is blowing his whistle. He's giving a free to Limerick. He seems to be indicating there was a jersey pulled by Owen Downey, I should say, and that's going to be a free in for Limerick.
Yeah, he was all over him inside there. Just pulled back again. It's up the other end of the pitch. Could have been a goal for Cork, 1-on-1, and down here at this end the same way. Both teams playing with great bravery, leaving trust in their inside defenders to handle it. Sometimes it'll go wrong like that.
Liam Gordon explaining to Owen Downey the reason for the free. And in fairness, it's one thing I compliment the referees, both in football and hurling, when they continue to communicate with the players and inform them of why the decision was made. It helps everybody. Aaron Gillard has already scored a goal and a point. Never in any doubt that he'd increase his tally to 1-2. Sharp fires Mark Coleman. But he loses the possession. Limerick put the pressure on. Cian Lynch going short. This time fires Tom Morrissey. Scored 2 points at the beginning of the game. And the man is on form, Tom Morrissey. From a hand. 3 in a row. 3 shots a goal. 3 points. Mark Coleman had it, but he lost the possession due to the fair pressure from Limerick.
Yeah, Limerick are on him in a flash. They don't want him. They want Collins to go along like this in the puck outs, but they're certainly turning him over and they go short.
Cork have not scored now since the 5th minute of the match, and we're heading towards the 15th. Ball inside for Shane Barrett, being pursued by Kyle Hayes. Beautiful Kyle Hayes. Great play by a man who started his career at wing back at Limerick under 21s. Moves to the forwards, now back at centre back in the absence of Declan Hannon. Barry Nash sending a pass down past Cian Lynch. The referee has blown his whistle for a late challenge on Barry Nash.
Yeah, I think, Marty, when they talk about Kyle Hayes and they say why is he so important to this Limerick team, just watch that reel over and over again. The speed he has to get back, the composure, get the flick away. Barrett thinks he's away, look at that, just got the flick across him. Great defending, and then strong enough not to give the ball away, made sure he minded as best he could.
Barry Nash going to take this from the South Liberty slot, driving into Aaron Gillard and David Reedy and company. David Reedy comes across, looking around, sends it back into the midfield area towards Gearóid Hegarty. Plenty of red and white jerseys there. Brian Roach is available in front of the McMackey stand, looking for it, gathered it, loses it. There's the pressure from Limerick again. They really are hungry.
Yeah, 4 green jerseys again, Marty. Well, you've seen this a couple of years ago from Limerick. The very minute the middle third is a chance that they're on it in a flash. O'Donoghue again, you can see how much it means to Limerick here. The last 18 months to 2 years or so, Cork have been their kryptonite. They've come in here on a mission now in early days. They're going really, really well.
Dermot Burns takes it short. Gearóid Hegarty is unmarked. Cork were ball watching. It's not a great effort from Hegarty and it's gone wide. That's Limerick's 4th wide of the match. But by his own very high standards, he'll be disappointed with that shot. Patrick Collins looking around to see who's available. His full back line go forward, but so too the Limerick inside line. Comes back for his Ethan Toomey. Good ball up for his Brian Hayes. Inside the 30-metre line, difficult angle, but he scores a beautiful point. It gives gives Cork a little bit of confidence. (1-6) for Limerick, 4 points for Cork. And this shot from way out the field, straight from Nicky Quaid's puck out, goes straight over the bar, off the stick of Adam English for his 2nd point of the game. Magnificent score.
It is Adam English, a real flow here. Cork are trying to get the ball in as quick as they can to the inside forwards.
Barry Nash to Mike Casey. Back to Barry Nash again. He has the time, plenty of time, to see where it's going to go. Beautiful caught by Shane O'Brien. On the 20, he's going to go for it. Hooked the first time, loses the sliotar, comes out to opportunity, saved on the line. And the referee blows his whistle. And he's given a free to Limerick.
Yeah, it's the toe back on O'Brien is the issue. There's crowd on the Limerick side are trying to say that. See, O'Brien comes in here. It's that 1v1 again, gets in behind Downey. He's away then. Coleman comes in. Not sure where the free was. It must be a choke from Downey, but in fairness to Coleman, he got back on the line really, really well. But it's that 1v1 inside again. Whenever it goes in, there's alarm bells ringing for that man in the shot, Patrick Collins. He's inside defenders.
18 minutes gone, and you'd have to say the signs are a bit ominous.
They are a bit, but there is a bit of a breeze there as well, Marty, to be fair. And Cork will be doing the exact same thing in the second half. They'll be getting long deliveries in, and Hayes will be the ones inside then, with maybe Connolly who are reaping the wars like Gillard and O'Brien are at the moment.
Limerick 1 goal and 7 points. Cork 4 points. 1 goal and 8 actually. Cork 4 points.
The referee there as well, Marty, going down to Owen Downey. I'd say he's giving him one last warning there. It's a persistent foul, and the last thing Downey wants now is to get a yellow card.
Little 1-2 between Sean O'Donoghue and Patrick Collins, trying to get the ball up to the full forward line, but the Limerick backs have been really impressive. Will O'Donoghue giving it over towards David Reedy as Limerick work the ball out using the hand pass legally, effectively. Adam English, beautiful understanding with Mike Casey. He's the left corner back, and that's straight over the bar. Wonderful score. It's normally his brother Peter Casey that's scoring, but this time it's the left corner back. But what a score. A real team effort from deep inside their own half of the field to slot that over the bar.
Yeah, serious determination there to explode into that space. Confident hit it over the bar.
Limerick, masterful. in the opening 20 minutes. 1-9 to 4 points. Back in the attack again. Knocked away. Trying to chase it up as Shane O'Brien has the opportunity to turn and send that between the posts for his first score of the game.
Marty, the Cork half forward line are way too far up the pitch. They're playing against the breeze. They're playing in the Limerick half of the pitch. It sounds a bit mad, but they need to come back down and engage with the Limerick half forward line. There's just too much space around that middle third. Watch the ball and it falls down. There's green jerseys everywhere.
Ball is knocked down. Brian Hayes almost had it. Adam English hops it nicely. Lovely combination. Kyle Hayes sees the gap. Beautiful skill. Heading towards the 45. Didn't quite connect, but he still continues on to try and get the ball. Under pressure is the right corner back, Niall O'Leary. Under severe pressure, but coolness personified. He hears the call, and Cork work it out. Tim O'Mahony between the 45 and 65, a diagonal ball, which is much better. And Cork's Alan Connolly was being held back, and that's going to be a free in for Cork, just outside the 20-metre line.
Hurling's a real game of counter-attack. As soon as Hayes lost possession up there, it was always on for Cork inside 1v1. Mike Casey's just caught for tugging, a little bit like what Downey has to do up the other end, or Niall O'Leary or Donohoe. Just getting a tick in there. Well, Pat Ryan has an issue there on his own puck out. Every time they lose it, Limerick are running down their throat. He's having a chat there with Ethan Toomey. I'd say to tell him, get back towards our goals. You're too far up the pitch.
Patrick Horgan gets his second point of the game. Great start for John Kiley and his Limerick team. The amount of space that Limerick have is mind-boggling, really, in this first half. I know, Brendan, you highlighted it again, but right from the start, I've been saying it myself, the amount of spacing is huge.
Yeah, it is. It's massive. And you see the way Morrissey and Hegarty playing early as half-backs. Cork half-forwards are playing too, as said, far up the pitch. And what's happening now is there's space all over the place. They got away with one there, all right.
Well, David Burns knew he was going to be hooked or blocked, so he tried to hand pass it, but it was an illegal pass, so it's a free for Cork. And once again, Patrick Horgan will come out to take the free.
Be fair to Shane Barrett, Marty did really well there. He got back and put the kind of pressure on that you need to, that we haven't really seen in the last 15, 16 minutes or so of the half, since Limerick have really taken over.
Patrick Horgan going to take this. 36 years of age, since the 5th of May. Cork fans not pleased with the first half performance. Hoggy making his debut against Tipperary back in 2008. And this time he'll be disappointed. Second wide of the match for Cork. Nicky Quaid knocked away on this occasion by Mark Coleman. Coleman looking for the run, and it's a good one. Brian Hayes almost colliding with Alan Connolly. There's it off to Patrick Horgan. What's he going to do? Great save by Nicky Quaid. Dan Morrissey, all-star fullback, there to back him up for the all-star keeper of 2024. And Limerick go into the counter-attack mode. Robert Downey trying to keep the road Hegarty away from shooting, but the umpires have no doubt that is sailing between the posts and over the bar for Garrod Hegarty's first point in this match.
Sub-score, Marty. That's a fair acute angle there. Downey thought he had done enough keeping him out. This is the Horgan opportunity. There's a hit it straight down the throat of Nicky Quaid, a goalie of his quality. We'll always save those, but it's important. Morrissey was the man on the spot then to help his keeper out. No rebounds.
23 and a half minutes gone. Out of Limerick's 1 goal and 11 points, 1 goal and 8 coming from play. It's reflected by what we're seeing here with Limerick dominant. Kyle Hayes, Barry Nash, Tom Morrissey sidestepping. Nice ball inside, but David Reedy just left it behind him. I can't imagine. How does he do that? Beautiful. In far is Tom Morrissey. Tom Morrissey stopped in his tracks by Brian Roach. No free given. Correct call by the referee. Owen Downey sends it down the middle towards Robert Downey. Ethan Toomey steps away from the challenge, trying to get past his own 65-metre line, being pursued by Aaron Gallan. Back for Shane Barrett. Now he'll have the engine to go. He's being stopped. Referee says advantage. Advantage being given. Shane Barrett continues on, and that is over the bar. Good decision by the referee. Good play by Shane Barrett.
Yeah, great refereeing from Liam Gordon there, and a good finish by Barrett into the breeze there. They're not simple. But again, the touch and the skill from Cian Lynch. Look at that over the shoulder, no look pass.
Nicky Quaid has options, but let's be honest, the long ball is working fine for him. Batted away. Picked up by Darragh Fitzgibbon. Literally centimetres in from the sideline. It's centimetres wide as well.
Okay, Marty, you'd have to stress it's not that simple over there. We normally see Darragh Fitzgibbon hit the net, and with that, wind is a factor. Limerick are away. Great ball.
Great ball again from Nicky Quaid to Garrod Hegarty. Robert Downey staying with him. Two big men, two fine hurlers. Garrod Hegarty has it back, and there's a foul by Robert Downey, and there's a free in for Limerick. A real physical exchange between two fine hurlers, shoulder to shoulder here, fouling ultimately Robert Downey, and Garrod Hegarty got inside the cover and got the ball.
There's that yellow card that Cork wouldn't have wanted to have seen on Rob Downey, but again, Hegarty, his strength. Downey roll lifted the ball, and before he had it in his own hand, Hegarty had it in his left hand, and he was gone.
Aaron Gillan going to take this free. Difficult enough angle. Never in any doubt.
Cork need to hang in there, Marty, now. Say the elements are against them. They need to be good sufferers now for the next 8 or 9 minutes or so. Keep the score as close as they can.
Robert Downey getting a yellow card for that exchange. Knocked away beautifully by Kyle Hayes. Cian Lynch. Just a little flick on. Opportunity suddenly arises. Back of the net. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, Limerick. Adam English with his second goal of the Munster Championship. Scored a goal against Tipperary. Scored a goal against Cork. But it's created by a magician called Cian Lynch.
Yeah,
Raspberry to the back of the net.
Adam isn't missing today, Marty, and the Cork are away again now. But that man, Kyle Hayes, he has some display in this half, Marty. He's been the launch pad for everything good that's landed down on the Limerick half-back line.
Again, Cian Lynch picks it up, looks around, has the space, turns, shoots and scores. Cian Lynch is simply awesome, simply brilliant.
And again, Cork are... Again, Marty, I can't stress enough, they're too far up the pitch. They're losing the numbers game around the middle third all of the time. The Limerick half-forward line are back. Adam English, the crowd are getting going now as well, obviously. Limerick on a real roll here.
Ball breaks out towards Mark Coleman. Into the centre. Diagonal ball over towards Patrick Horgan and company. Manages to turn. Oh, that's a very good score against the wind. You can't beat a bit of experience when life is kind of going against you. And this game has been going against Cork right from the throw-in at 4 o'clock. It's a scoreline on the top of your TV screens that we never quite anticipated. And thankfully, there's a lot more time to go, because Cork with wind advantage, as Brendan has said, will be a different animal completely. Free for Cork, and again Patrick Horgan coming out to take it.
To take everything he has to get the distance and accuracy on this one.
For Pat Ryan, it's been a learning experience this first half for his side. He's already scored 3 times, Patrick Horgan. Had a shot at goal saved by Nicky Quaid.
Force and Marty, when you're that far out, the breeze into your face, you feel you have to go harder at it to hit it, and mistimed it again.
4th wide of the match for Cork. Long puck out from Nicky Quaid. He really is having a huge impact, Nicky Quaid, those puck outs, as David Reedy gets the breaking ball and scores his first point in the championship.
Got the tap down from Hegarty. Hegarty really well there. He just knew exactly what he was doing. He broke the ball down to Reedy's stride. Give him a simple task.
Short puck out to Undani, picked up by Aaron Gillan. Aaron Gillan is surely fouled. Referee's giving the advantage. Sends in a shot, but the referee is going to blow a whistle. The short puck out not working on this occasion as the effort was blocked. And Owen Downey's efforts to clear. Good work by Shane O'Brien. Aaron Gillard picked it up. He was clearly pulled. He took the shot anyway, but he was giving an advantage.
Yeah, he did, and there's no black card because Gillard didn't go to ground. But again, it just shows everywhere Cork are trying to do. They go short, they get turned over. They go long, they're beaten by the bodies in the middle third. Just all down to that work rate that the Limerick forwards are showing all around their area of the pitch. And it's been reflected in the scoreline, there's no doubt about that.
He scored a goal and 11 points in the Munster final a couple of years ago, Aaron Gillard. And right now, he scored a goal and 5 in this match. And Cork will be seriously worried at the break because John Kiley's team have really shown their character. 2-15 to 7 points. 21 points to 7. Limerick winning all the crucial battles. Long ball in from Tom Morrissey. Cork full back line under severe pressure. Ball bounces. Ball is out, says the referee. Aaron Gillard holding Niall O'Leary's hurling. That's a free out for Cork.
Yeah, not a bad free to give away either for Gillard. He'd lost to Hurley. Means Cork have no momentum. See him here. He just holding on to the Hurley.
Patrick Collins goes for distance. Added to by Tim O'Mahony. There's a wrestling match going on. The ball comes out. Eventually Shane Barrett is there. Getting no chance to run at the Limerick defence, taking a heavy knock in his efforts to get clean possession. There was the challenge there, not once but twice.
Two pullbacks. He's gone on to Kyle Hayes there for the slap across with the Hurley. He got away with one earlier on there, but in fairness to Liam Gordon this time, he decided that it was just aggressive use of the Hurley.
Yellow card for Kyle Hayes as Patrick Horgan. Looks like this is sailing between the posts. It is. The white flag is going to be raised. Every point now is crucial from a Cork perspective to try and get back into this game in the second half and not concede any more. Look at the marking here. It's terrible by Cork. Gerard Hegarty from Nicky Quaid to over the bar.
It's Robert Downey
in motion.
Yeah, it is. It's Robert Downey. Robert didn't follow across there. He was trying to go zonal mark, and Hegarty saw it, and of course no one better than Nicky Quaid to pick him out.
Advantage to Cork. Good running here by Darragh Fitzgibbon, running through the heart of the Limerick defence. Can he score? Don't think so. Ball is wide. But things go wrong, things go wrong. And in this first half, nothing is going right for Cork. That's due to the full complement and to the awesome performance by their opponents, Limerick. Oh, beautiful start. David Reedy, just a flick of the wrist. Adam English hurling it back. This is exhibition stuff. In Ferris, Tom Morrissey having a shot and scoring another point, his 4th point of the match. It is an array of hurling skills, of vision, of interpretation, of being to look at that from Adam English. He knew that Tom Morrissey was gone inside. Away goes Tom Morrissey, thought about perhaps going for goal, but he took his point. Little 1-2 with Patrick Collins. And again, Cork seemed to be rattled in this first half. And Mark Coleman unable to control the slither.
Yeah, they're very jumpy, there's no doubt about that. Hegarty comes in, puts out his leg. Have to be lucky there's not a dead leg on Mark Coleman there now. Sometimes knee to quad there can be an issue. The last thing they need now, as bad as things are going for him, is Mark Coleman not to be able to come out for the second half. And of course, Marty, facing into the second half, Limerick are really good against the breeze. They tip and tap the ball out really, really well, but it'll certainly help Cork's game with the long ball in top of Hayes. They can deliver from anywhere around their own 45, whereas in this half they've just gotten bogged down and can't get out.
Five goals between the teams, 15 points. It's intimidating. Darragh Fitzgibbon back again for his Mark Coleman, but Limerick put in the hard work and they win the possession back almost. Now they have it, and away the process goes. Gearóid Hegarty. Flicking it back for his Dermot Burns. From the middle of the field. Listen to the roar. First point of the match for Dermot Burns. Scored 3 against Tip, 1 against Waterford and 1 against Cork.
Yeah, Hegarty and Donohoe were 2 over on the far side that got the turnover, and how many times have seen Dermot Burns step out of his wing back position and just catapult the ball over the bar like that.
Long puck out by Patrick Collins. Nicely picked up on this occasion by Brian Roach. Heading towards goal, and that is over the bar. That's a good score. For Cork, every single white flag now is crucial. It's still an intimidating scoreline, even having played against the breeze. 1 minute of additional time going to be added on. Another long puck out from Mickey Quaid. Stalemate inside the D. They're coming forward, the green and white in numbers, but Owen Downey and Cork survive the exchange and win themselves a free out.
Yeah, every long puck out. We normally see a full forward line, Marty, especially Cork there, would come out the pitch to help their defenders. The ref's going to call that back. So everybody drops back the pitch 10-15 yards. But here, Cork have all stayed in their slots. It's been one-on-one inside 60 yards all day long here, and Limerick have scored 2-18 out of that.
So really what you're saying is the Cork half-forward line should have gone back a lot more.
Yeah, the Cork full forward line need to come out another 15-20 yards. Nicky Quaid has the ball. The half-forward line come back, the half-back line come back, and then you congest that middle space where Hegarty's running into all day long.
Long puck out again from Collins. And the referee blows the half-time whistle. An awesome performance by the Shannon Siders. They are back to their very best. And let's be honest, they've given Cork a lesson in this opening half. With wonderful displays by so many players, including Kyle Hayes. For Pat Ryan, Joanne, 15 points between the teams. None of us would have expected this in any shape or form, considering the recent performances and displays between the two counties, with literally only about 2 points between them in the last 3 games. Those changes that Joanne mentioned, Cormac O'Brien from Newtown Chandron comes in instead of Robert Downey. Now there was talk and rumours that Robert Downey wouldn't start because of a knee injury, and Seamus Harnedy comes in for Ethan Toomey in the middle of the field. So the next 10 or 15 minutes going to be vital for Cork. See if they can get back into this match. And they certainly don't need to concede any scores, but try and make and create scores. Picked up by Kieran Joyce. Laying it back. Cormac O'Brien with his very first shot at goal is dropping to the right and wide.
Yeah, at least they won the ball to try to get it back and get the shot away. It's going to take a second or two to adjust to the breeze in there, Marty. But this puck out now is going to be vital for Cork. They saw what Limerick did to them in the first half. They have to try to return the dose now.
Nicky Quaid's puck out. Just keeping it in is David Reedy. It's kicked out over the sideline by Sean O'Donoghue, and that's going to be a sideline ball for Limerick. Official attendance has been given as 42,477. Gearóid Hegarty going to take this. Will O'Donoghue seems to have just picked up a little hand injury, and that's going to happen as Limerick make the substitution, the blood substitution, just for a moment. That's Darragh O'Donovan is getting his first touch of the championship. Cian Lynch, Darragh O'Donovan is on it. Good to see him back, having had an injury for the winter months, as Cork fight for every ball. Well won on this occasion by Niall O'Leary. Mark Coleman. Seamus Harnedy. Won back by Dermot Burns. Towards Gearóid Hegarty. Good work by Cormac O'Brien. Back again. Referee says advantage. But O'Brien continues on and he drives the ball wide, so there's going to be a free back for Cork.
Yeah, Cormac O'Brien there, it would have been great for his confidence to get that one over the bar just as well as pull back. But at least Cork put pressure on the ball coming out there. I think it was Hayes who got the deflection on it. That Ryan would be a lot happier the last minute and a half, the way his team have gotten into this.
Patrick Horgan taps that over the bar. So the comeback has started. 14 points between the teams. Not impossible, and let me tell you, there is a really strong wind here in Páirc na Gael and Limerick, and that's all to advantage Cork in this second half. Good work here by Sean O'Donoghue. Sideline ball going to the Leesiders, just outside the Limerick 45-metre line.
The question as well, Marty's going to be, when are Limerick going to go short and try to run the ball out? That'll be the real test for this Cork forward line. Can they turn them over?
Dara Fitzgibbon, Charleville, sending in towards Tim O'Mahony and Patrick Horgan. But Limerick come away with it, winning the possession back cleanly. Looking around, there's a two-man full forward line now, and there's acres of Páirc na Gael land in front of them. Well won, very well won by Owen Downey. Dara Fitzgibbon laying it off over towards Brian Roach. Patrick Horgan unable to reach it. It was a difficult ball, to be fair to him. Picked up by Sean Finn, won by Tom Morrissey. Scored the first 2 points, and away he goes, heading towards the 45. Working back is Shane Barrett, and that is sent in despite the pressure by the Blarney man, and Tom Morrissey gets his 4th point of the game. Well, he certainly has regained his form. Saw him a few times in the league, but my word, in the championship, he's coming to life.
Yeah, Barrett covered some ground to try to track him, but Morrissey had enough composure after that long run to split the post against the breeze.
Puck out from Patrick Collins, using the wind to his advantage. Ball falls kindly almost for Seamus Harnedy, but Limerick have the possession back. Adam English, scorer of a goal and 2 points in the first half, and you just have to admire the way Limerick always played the diagonal ball from left half back to right corner forward. Aaron Galan, to the credit of Niall O'Leary, he stays with it, and the corner back from Castle Lyons wins the man-to-man tussle. Full marks to the right corner back, and again Cork go law up towards Patrick Horgan. Difficult ball, beautifully run back. Limerick in control. Now look at the marking here. There is nobody around Tom Morrissey, and this time he sends it wide. But the marking by Cork, Brendan Cummins, is terrible.
Yeah, it is. It's worrying now, I suppose, for Pat Ryan down there to see Morrissey twice now standing all by himself.
Cormac O'Brien tries the diagonal ball this time. Thundering in was Dan Morrissey, concedes the free.
You can count 5 jerseys down there inside the Limerick, 5 green jerseys inside the Limerick 45 there. If you remember the first half, there was only 2 red against 2 green. Limerick are sitting back in there, they're letting the ball come in long. They hoovered up Morrissey, then they had to get their head up because they have the numbers coming out with the ball. They have to pick out Morrissey.
So what you're saying really, Brendan, is that Limerick strategically have got it right already.
Well, they have, and they're sitting nice and deep there. Kyle Hayes is standing, you'll see, most of the time between the 45. He's not playing a sweeper as such. He just knows the work rate in front of him is so good. The 2 wing forwards are working back so far that a midfielder is able to cover the Cork 11 and allows Hayes then to hedge properly, which Cork did not have in the first half.
Just outside the 65. Patrick Horgan drives it in and will raise a white flag for the 6th time. 2:19 Limerick, 11 points Cork. Nicky Quaid aiming for David Reedy, knocked away. Gearóid Hegarty's in that company. It's an old game plan that has worked for years for Limerick. This time coming away with it is Sean O'Donoghue, sending it along to a lovely turn. Alan Connolly heading to inside the 20-metre line, and Limerick are back there. 5 defenders around Alan Connolly. This is the point that Brendan Cummins was making a moment ago, that when Cork do get the ball, Limerick seem to have the numbers, which was lacking in the first half by Cork, who seemed to be a bit naive. And Alan Connolly, look at all the Limerick defenders around him.
Hayes is the man who was coming back there as well, Marty. In fairness to me, that left hand on the shoulder was booked in the first half. He needs to be very, very careful now. Giving Liam Gordon a decision if he clatters into somebody else and knocks him over.
Patrick Horgan going to take the free.
Limerick players are remonstrating inside there that the Cork player was just going to ground very easy. I wouldn't agree. A stiff belt to knock him over.
Some of the Cork fans who are getting on to the referee that perhaps Kyle Hayes should have gotten a second yellow.
That'll be the question with John Kiley's management team below. Do you leave Kyle Hayes on and risk one more misstep?
Nicky Quaid against the wind. Again aims for the big man. Right half forward, left half forward. It's just normal service. Nicky Quaid to Gearóid Hegarty. We could have told you a week ago that would be the game plan.
And against the wind too, Marty. It's unbelievable when you're a goalkeeper down there to see the size of Hegarty with his hand up saying hit it to me, then he catches it and tings it over the bar like it's a thing of nothing.
Dropping ball, Dermot Burns lays it off. Farrell's Barry Nash sending it down the wing. The Cork defence look very much exposed here. Crossfield ball again, always in front of Aaron Gillan. It's the perfect ball for a corner forward. Little shimmy to the left, hits it on the right, over the bar. Beautiful to watch, but not if you happen to be from Cork.
No, Cork are in the real days around the middle third of the pitch. They don't know to push up. The Limerick half forward line are coming back. The wing backs don't know to go back after and what they're supposed to do. I mean, you're not winning the breaks, the turnover. Don't mention it at half time, but work. Not getting that level of intensity from Cork, and it causes issues all over the place.
Good ball from Patrick Collins to Mark Coleman, running into a cul-de-sac of green and white jerseys. He lays it off, and the turn from Seamus Harnedy and the point effort is a good one. Good score. Still 14 points between the teams. 221 Limerick, 13 points Cork. Nicky Quaid. Gearóid Hegarty again is the target. Up he goes, ball bounces. Picked up by Hegarty. Lays it off to Cian Lynch, 45. Looking around to see who he can pass it to. It takes two to stop him. Brian Roach is in there. Bursting his way out. Eventually he's won himself a free. But again, it's a sequence where you look at all the Limerick players around the one Cork player.
Yeah, well, Limerick on the puck out, they created a pod here on the right half forward position to try to get enough bodies to try to win the break, and that's how, when they didn't win the break and it came down, they still had a lot of that green wall there. Patrick Horgan coming a long ways out now. Should have the distance, obviously, on this with the breeze with him. But even on score difference here, Marty, every single one of these are really important to Cork now. Tipperary had a great win in Thurles today.
Patrick Horgan, from way out the field, puts that over the bar for his 8th point of the game. It's not impossible for Pat Ryan, but it certainly is a major challenge. Seamus Harnedy gets there ahead of Cian Lynch, tries to get by Cian Lynch. Shot not pass. Harnedy went down afterwards, and the referee is going to give a free to Cork. Cian Lynch did nothing wrong. He just challenged Seamus Harnedy. But Seamus Harnedy, who's come into this game injured, has taken a bad knock.
Yeah, the claim is that his shoulder to head is what the argument around there of all the players is. Liam Gordon has said nothing to see here. Cian Lynch's argument obviously is that Harnedy ducked into the tackle. Seamus looks like he's okay anyway, and we can move on with a free.
Liam Gordon is telling Adam English that he doesn't want to hear from him anymore because he's giving him a lot of lip, apparently. So, in fairness to the referee, he's asserting his authority in a fair way first before issuing any cards. Meanwhile, Patrick Horgan is going to take this. He's between his own 45 and 65 metre line, but he is wind assisted. He floats it up into the sky, dropping down, dropping wide. The Cork's 7 wide of the match.
Yeah, his free taking today, Marty, unusual. He's kind of summed up the way Cork are. It's not that assured, it's tentative, not in control, I would say, of the strike.
Nicky Quaid thinking about changing the direction of the puck out in front of the stand. There's the Clare Hills in the background. Cian Lynch is battling in there, but great work by Mark Coleman. Manages to get the ball away to Seamus Harnedy, who's going for his 2nd point of the game, and this is going to curl in. And Seamus Harnedy has made an impact, to his great credit, since being introduced at half-time for Ethan Toomey. Points from way out the field.
Great score there. He slipped in front of Kyle Hayes there. Knew Kyle wouldn't step out to meet him. Really good score now.
12 points between the teams. And Cork are winning a lot of ball at the middle of the field. Tim O'Mahony, referee blows his whistle. Didn't like the high challenge. So he's given the free to the Leesiders here.
Yeah, Liam Gordon has been really strict on that. We saw Kyle Hayes booked in the first half for that flick across. The same way now Will O'Donoghue's just received the yellow card as well for it. Suddenly the Cork supporters around the Gaelic Grounds have found their voice.
Patrick Horgan hitting this straight and through for his 9th point of the game. And now it's 2:21 to 16 points. It's getting a little bit closer.
Hurling's amazing, Marty, with the breeze just down there. It only takes one ball on top of Brian Hayes to catch it. And all hell could break loose here yet.
11 points between them now. Tim O'Mahony, ball is left behind. Cormac O'Brien sending it down into the space. Chasing after it is Brian Hayes. Coming out towards the corner. Nice stick work. Can he turn inside? Still Hayes. Flicking it across. Lovely dummy. Patrick Horgan, one way, left way, but he left the ball behind him. Has to fight to get it back. Battling hard. Shoulder to shoulder, man to man stuff. And away come Limerick. Little bit too much showing off by Kyle Hayes. Loses the possession and he's given a sideline ball away.
It's that man Hayes again who was in there. See the strength and the power. It's a great referee in there from Liam Gordon. It was man-to-man tussle inside there with Horgan. In fairness to his credit, tried to stop Hayes coming out, and Hardy was the one who broke up the counter-attack.
Sideline cut. Up goes Cian Lynch. Looking around again. He looks in the rear-view mirrors as he was about to pass. Intercepted by Sean O'Donoghue. Adam English flicking it across to Garrod Hegarty. It takes 3 to stop it, but 1 is enough. And that 1 is Cormac O'Brien from Newtown Chandrow. He gets a clap on the back from Sean O'Donoghue. They're all clapping each other on the back now as Cork just begin to believe in themselves.
Yeah, and Cormac O'Brien has been struggling under the puck out with Hegarty. He's obviously caught a few, but in fairness, when the ball's on the deck, the grimace there from Hegarty obviously doesn't agree with the decision. But in fairness, he's game enough, Cormac O'Brien. He's been stuck into him. He's trying his damnedest to put him off his game, and at times it's working like that.
Cork fans beginning to let their feelings be known as Patrick Horgan takes another free, and again it pulls it to the left and wide. 8 wides for Cork.
Another uncharacteristic miss from Patrick Horgan on the left side again. The breeze kind of slightly right to left into there. Liam Gordon is going to call the play back. Substitution, Seamus Flanagan.
Seamus Flanagan coming on for Limerick, and it looks also like Paul O'Neill is coming on. I have to say, it shows you the depth of talent that is in Limerick. With Flanagan a first choice full forward, and Carl O'Neill another first choice player. Going off is Shane O'Brien and Tom Morrissey, who's contributed 5 points to this wonderful performance by the home side.
Morrissey definitely back to his best down there. Back helping his half-back line and popping up to get scores as well.
Nobody connecting. Paul O'Neill is there. Cian Lynch again sends it in low to Seamus Flanagan, flicking it on just to Paul O'Neill is chasing after it, just leaving it behind momentarily. Cork come in to challenge. Great work by Tim O'Mahony. Ball comes out to Seamus Harnedy. Adam English battling hard. Limerick fighting for the ball. Lovely wrist work again. Looking around. The diagonal ball. This nice ball inside in towards Aaron Gallan. Trying to twist and turn. Gallan heads towards the Clare Hills, but this time his ball is gone to the left and wide.
Great defending, Niall O'Leary. Great defending inside there. Great feet. Gallan was squirming around there, but O'Leary kept ahead.
Long puck out from Patrick Collins. Knocked away. Brian Roach coming in. The powerful presence of Kyle Hayes. Overfires Cian Lynch. Always seems to have time all day. Seamus Flanagan trying to knock it down. Getting the return pass, but the pass just goes astray. Cork have it now once more. They're looking for the runs, and they're making the runs, including Brian Hayes from right corner forward to left corner forward. Where the ball is coming back down for Barry Nash. Under pressure from Cork, trying to get away. This is better from Cork. as they chase and harass the crowd of Cork supporters, unanimously standing on their feet. They obviously didn't like the challenge by Limerick, but the referee didn't agree with them, and the ball from Nicky Quaid was brought over the sideline. Perhaps from a Cork perspective, justice is done.
Claiming Patrick Horgan got flattened over the far side there. He did get a belt and the ball wasn't near him. But either way, anyway, slight error from Nicky Quaid there has given Coleman an opportunity. You have to wonder as well, Darragh Fitzgibbon's not really in the game, Marty. You wonder if Cork need to bring him out around the middle of the field just to try to get him on the ball. It seems to be bypassing him. They can't find him in the middle third at all.
Mark Coleman with the sideline cut. Hits it in. Nice. Is there a touch? There is. But it's wide. Disappointment for Brian Hayes of Cork.
Yeah, it's one of the moments for him now. Coleman just always a hard one coming in, pace on it. Did well actually. Just trying to get it on target. Morrissey on his back.
Long, quick puck out for Carl O'Neill. Doing a Tom Morrissey on it.
Yeah, that's poor, Marty, because that's Mark Coleman's man. Coleman's over here taking the line ball in the left half forward position. No one picking up his man on the far side of the pitch. Quick puck out later, and that's your net result.
Easy point to concede, really. Niall O'Leary will require a little bit of attention here. Championship debutant back in 2019 against today's opposition. Damien Cahalan is going to be introduced.
And Niall O'Leary's going to have to obviously come off there. He took that bit of a knock when he was tracking down Aaron Galland there in the last play when he got the hook into him. Just twisted something awkwardly there. Cork again will be hoping that he'll be okay for next weekend.
So Damien Cahalan from St Finbarrs in Castlehaven. Son, of course, of the great Niall Cahalan is being introduced, and Niall O'Leary is the player that's making way, obviously picking up an injury.
Replacement on the Cork team, number 17, Damien Cahalan, replaces number 2, Niall O'Leary.
Patrick Collins going to try and take advantage of the wind in this second half, dropping it down towards Brian Hayes. Ball drops on. Ball is available, and Limerick have it. Advantage being given by the referee. Hit it a little bit strongly, but Colin O'Neill controlled it well. Gives it back towards Will O'Donoghue. Available is Adam English. Hits this powerfully, but I'm afraid nowhere near the target.
Again, Cork players not outside the 21. So they pulled the puck out back. Liam Gordon again has been a stickler on that. He's consistent.
15 minutes still to go in this Munster Championship clash. Plus, of course, there might be a few minutes injury time as well, but there's 12 points between them. 2 against 1. Barry Nash, wonderfully consistent no matter where you pick him. O'Neill playing a major role in the second half since being introduced. Down towards Seamus Flanagan. Damien Cahalan has lost his hurling. Damien Cahalan has to try and keep goal side of it. Back outside. Kieran Joyce, the referee, acknowledged that there was fouling by Cork, and that's going to be a free in for Limerick.
Again, they got the one-on-one inside with Flanagan. 2 Limerick half forwards were standing nearly in their own half back line, creating the space inside. Flanagan's one-on-one. Cahalan was in hard luck. He lost the hurling. That's the best he could do.
Yellow card for Damien Cahalan. Maybe disappointed with that, to say the least. Meanwhile, Aaron Galland is concentrating and taking the free. He's already scored a goal and 6 points in this match. That gives you an idea of the angle. And that gives you an indication of the reaction. John Kiley must be so proud of his team with that performance, particularly in the first half. Considering that Cork have wind advantage, it's interesting to note that Cork now haven't scored in 9 minutes. Brian Hayes. Good work by Sean Finn. In there as well, Dermot Burns. And once again, it's Limerick to come away with it. Adam English is fouled.
Yeah, 4-2 there on the green jerseys. They're all around the ball, the work rate, the hunger. At the very minute the ball drops around there, Adam English is coming back on one flank. Will O'Donoghue's coming back on the other. The two half forwards are coming back to take their slots as well around the middle. Very, very well organised Limerick today.
Peter Casey is on. The player that's making way is David Reedy. Huge reaction to see Peter Casey back in the Limerick jersey, and we welcome him back after that horrific injury. He's worked hard. We wish him well for the forthcoming season. As that ball is dropping in, batted away. The aforementioned Peter Casey, just down the road here in Carradavin, where we are at the moment. Tim O'Mahony gets the breaking ball. Good work by Dan Morrissey to Barry Nash. Sending into the corner, but there's nobody home, which is rather surprising because every time we went down the wing there was somebody there in a green and white jersey. Damien Cahalane. And the referee has spotted a foul on Brian Hayes, and that the jersey pull before the ball arrived. Soft free to concede now.
Yeah, just Casey just you can see to get a little choke. Hayes comes out to the ball kind of sideways, trying to hold off the defender so he knows where he is. And first to Casey, just gave him that little choke. He'll be happy enough that just to concede a point here.
Referee now bringing into the middle.
Sorry, Marty. Makes it more interesting now. Patrick Horgan should have a dig here at this.
Hoggy is contemplating it. 5 Limerick men on the goal line at the Ennis Road goalposts. Nicky Quaid poised to dive either way. Here comes Patrick Horgan. It's in the back of the net. It's exactly what the doctor ordered, because Cork needed a lifeline. He smashed it into the back of the Limerick net. It's still a long way back, but it gives the people of Cork renewed hope. It was lashed past the Limerick goal line. 10 points between the teams. 10 minutes to go. Tension is palpable. Limerick have it. They give the ball back. Flicked away on this occasion by Seamus Harnedy. Laying it off. Fires Alan Connolly. Had to come all out to midfield. Connolly about to be taken out of it by 4 Limerick players, at least marked out of it. He twists and turns. He's on the 45. He sends it high, but that I think is going to go well wide. And it is.
That happens when you haven't been on the ball a lot, Marty. You just start to force it a little bit. Connolly done really, really well. Harnedy was coming on the loop. He was just saying, this is the moment. We have momentum. I have to be the man to do it. And the simple pass was on, especially with the Limerick cover and defence coming back.
John Kiley encouraging his players to go forward again. Limerick would have anticipated and expected Cork to come back at them. Cian Lynch survives the challenge, looks around, a little flick on first. Carl O'Neill creates the space. O'Neill goes for it, dropping in, and Patrick Collins has it, but the referee has brought his face. He's giving a penalty as Aaron Galland was being fouled, and the referee has no doubt whatsoever.
Galland is really, really good at that, Marty. He got pinned. Watch him in here now. He pins Downey to the edge of the square. Look at the strength on him. He's forcing Downey. Then he falls back into them. Downey's hand comes over his shoulder. See Downey's left hand. Very minute Galland feels that. He's hitting the deck and wins the penalty. There's the yellow card as well then for Owen Downey.
Yellow card for the Glen Rovers man. Whatever about Cork's comeback, it had the momentum after Patrick Horgan's goal, but this penalty could certainly stop that momentum, so it's a vital moment. And as Aaron Galland has to go back out midfield to kind of gather up the slither. Patrick Collins is on the goal line. the sun into his eyes. He has the wind to his back, but Aaron Gallan going to take the penalty. Patrick Swell of Limerick versus Ballinhassig of Cork. Gallan against Collins. Beautifully tucked away in the corner. Never in any doubt.
Minimal fuss. Tings it into the corner, and fairness to Collins, he gets it the right way. It's a great angle of it here. Gets a little bounce 2 or 3 yards out. Hardest one for the keeper to save.
Beautifully put into the corner. Ball knocked away. Adam English to Barry Nash. Look at the space again. The marking by Cork is really poor. As Peter Casey hits that slither between the post and over the bar. You cannot beat class. And Peter Casey has an abundance of class.
He has, and over in the right half back position there for Cork, there's someone gone AWOL all the time. There's acres outside there. Casey finished it lovely.
Seamus Harnedy into the space now. Knocked away on this occasion. Sideline ball to Cork.
You were wondering, Marty, after Patrick Horgan blasted that top spin effort to the net, what was going to happen next? I think it's 1-1 since then, and the green wave is coming back up the pitch, relentless.
That goal by Aaron Gallan has certainly burst the Cork momentum, and the Limerick fans know that they have a team going for 7 Munster Championships in a row, 4 All-Irelands, and you can see why they've done it. They have come back into this match. This was the match they wanted to win more than anything else, because of course Cork ended the 5-in-a-row dream last year in the semi-final. But Limerick strategically have really, John Kiley and Paul Kinnaird deserve credit. They've just strategically got it right.
They have, and the attitude has been unbelievable as well. The real bee in their bonnet, like what you said, you listed off, losing the 5-in-a-row to Cork. People kind of half writing them off. All that kind of stuff puts fair fire in the belly, Marty, and we're seeing it out there.
Cork have the possession, comes back for Dara Fitzgibbon. Floating one in, but it's tailing to the right and wide. 11 wides for Cork.
There's Dara Fitzgibbon. He's really struggled out there today. They haven't won the ball 40 or 50 yards up for the pitch him enough so they can get their head up to find him. And all they've done is hit it long, and Kyle Hayes has just gobbled everything up.
Robbie O'Flynn coming on for Alan Connolly.
Sign
tried his best.
Sorry, Dara Fitzgibbon has gone in corner forward, so that's another sign as well of where things are at for Cork.
Peter Casey had gone out over the sideline by the time he got the ball in. The linesman has his flag up. Sideline ball for Cork. Certainly is a great day for Limerick. And I think as well as that, as I think of it now, there's a man who's a devout Limerick fan, Walter Shanahan. We wish you a speedy recovery, Walter. All your friends are thinking of you, including myself, and we wish you a speedy recovery. But I'm sure that today, as you watch the Limerick and Cork fans, all the Mexicans have arrived, that you'll be well pleased with what Limerick have shown here in Park Lagrange. Kinlich. I have to say, you love watching him. It's just the flicks. He started a move, and away comes Colin O'Neill, who I've no doubt is going to finish it. Brilliant score.
Another big plus for Limerick. The Colin O'Neill looks like he's moving really freely out there. Marty, he came on, he's on a few puck outs, he's on coming back, doing his job really, really well. He looks structurally really strong and really fit.
Mike Casey is going to be taken off. What a great game he had, scoring a point in the process. And from Ballybrown comes Colin Coughlin, getting a massive clap in the back from John Kiley, but a huge response from the people of Limerick as well. Breaking ball, almost picked up by Adam English. Robbie O'Flynn sending the ball in, trying creating goals here. Dara Fitzgibbon, Brian Hayes, twisting, turning. He's confronted by 3 Limerick players. That's the difference between the first half and the second half, and Limerick have it once more. There is a wall of green and white, and it's very simple. Cork will not pass or be allowed to pass. Fouled by Brian Hayes.
The ultimate composure from Dan Morrissey there. He had so much awareness that when he got the ball under pressure, being chased down, didn't just hit it away, recycle it again. Finn is the man then who's next up to try to run it out and draws the foul.
Aidan O'Connor is coming on for Limerick, another one of the Ballybrown players, and looks like Dermot Burns is the player that's making way. I saw Aidan O'Connor and you saw so many other players during the league, and they have blended in so well with the team that have won the All-Irelands and the Munster Championships. It's a cocktail that is working for Limerick, and that is to the great credit of John Kiley, Paul Kinnerk. Dermot Burns is still on the pitch.
Yes, John Kiley called off the substitution. He said, we're not doing that.
So they changed their minds, obviously. Now the linesman is indicating that he needs to come off. And there is confusion.
The main thing is, Marty, with those green men and those jerseys out there, there's absolutely no confusion out there. Will O'Donoghue now is coming back to wing back. Yes, Dermot Burns has been left to field of play.
Confusion with the substitution. And I think Liam Gordon is a bit confused as well. But for a moment, there were 16 players on the pitch. And the officials took care of it as quickly as they could when they realised the error. I think it's going to go back for a throw-in, I think is what Liam Gordon is saying. Yeah, the explanation has been given to the referee. Having a word with his linesman Thomas Walsh, indicating that there were 16 players on the field, so he's going to give a throw ball. I have to say compliments to the team of officials, because they have been alert and worked very well as a team.
They've been really good. They've been consistent. The puck outs and defenders inside the 21 have been blown. The whip of a swing of a hurley across has been blown, but again, it has been, if you look at the scoreboard, an easy enough one, I suppose, in a lot of ways. Limerick have brought huge fight, and Cork are disappointed that just haven't really gotten out of the blocks here today, both structurally and the work rate that's required.
Liam Gordon explaining everything to the players, that there were 16 players on the pitch momentarily. Good work by Thomas Walsh, the linesman here at this side, and the decision is a throw ball. So good work by Liam Gordon. Ball is picked up rather quickly by Aidan O'Connor. Quickly laid off. And again, up towards Seamus Flanagan. It's always the ball in towards the corner. Over his shoulder. It's floating in. Just a little bit short for Patrick Collins to easily gather. 4 minutes of additional time here in Parkland Gael. Ball into the centre. Patrick Horgan trying to set up Brian Hayes, trying to twist and turn, laying it off. Shane Barrett, 3 players around him. Back again for Darragh Fitzgibbon. Opportunity coming for Patrick Horgan! And then there's Nicky Quaid at the end of it. Comes back in again, stopped. Shot by Robbie Flynn. Good work here. Cormac O'Brien. Where's the left corner back? Sean O'Donoghue. Picked up by Tim O'Mahony. Bursting through the middle, trying to get through. Cian Lynch and Limerick come away with it. As Limerick retain control. Will O'Donoghue. Ball given away. Ball dropping in again. Plenty of Limerick players. Oh, there's a collision there. As 2 Limerick players are down, one is up, but they have the possession, and referee Liam Gordon is correct.
Well, if anyone's going to run into Garrod Hegarty down there, if it's Dan Morrissey, he's the only one on the pitch, I think, that could survive that kind of a belt. You can see here when the two of them come in, the clash is, see, them smacked into each other there. Morrissey is up, thankfully. Of course he is. But what a save from Nicky Quaid. If you think about where he came from, Marty, from 2 or 3 months ago, he'd have said there's no way he's going to be able to play. But
we think this might be off the crossbar. Let's just see.
Crossbar.
It is the crossbar, actually.
I always think he's so good that he's the one who's going to save it. Any lower and he would have, but either way, just a let off again there. Hard luck from Patrick Horgan. Great shot. But the main thing as well, from John Kiley's point of view, when it came off the crossbar and came out, hit a green jersey, and out they were out again.
John Kiley and his management team with Paul Kinnerk must be very pleased with this performance. It's their best so far this year, but what a day to have it when the league champions come to town, and the team that knocked you out of the championship last year when the 5-in-a-row dream was on. It's so much last year, I'm sure John Kiley will say. This is 2025. Ball comes down to Sean O'Donoghue. Backfires Patrick Collins. Going for distance again. Shoulder to shoulder, right beside each other. Nicely picked up by Will O'Donoghue. Coming forward is Kyle Hayes. Once again, it's the man who's come back, Peter Casey, with his second point of the match. It just shows you the depth of talent that's in Limerick at the moment. And it hasn't gone away.
No, it definitely hasn't, but the anger and the hurt, you can see it pouring out. Everyone spoke about this game as being a statement match in the Munster Championship. Limerick have made a fair statement here now, there's no doubt about that. And they've gotten Cathal O'Neill and they've gotten Casey on the field to play. It's a big plus for them as well.
Kyle Hayes coming across, getting there ahead of Brian Hayes. The Battle of the Hazes, won by the Limerick version. In towards the corner, towards Aaron Gillan again and company. Over his right shoulder, and this one is going to tail to the right and wide. The referee, they think the referee has blown the whistle, and he has now. Game over. And Limerick have laid down a marker. An awesome display. Best display by any team in the Championship 2025. Limerick have set out their stall, and they're clearly earmarking 7 Munster Championships in a row. For Pat Ryan and his Cork team, the league champions, an afternoon of disappointment. But Limerick's first half performance will be talked about for years to come.